Welcome. I'm Matt Sweets Staniszewski, and this is America Period. So we're covering the 2025 primary election here in Washington County, Pennsylvania. May 20th is right around the corner for you to decide. We reached out to every candidate and provided them the opportunity to be interviewed here on America Period to discuss their platform, what is their vision, and really to defend any questions that we might have. Now, some candidates, yes, they did come in and you'll see those interviews. Others, well, they either did not reply or they declined an interview. And that's okay. We respect that. So for the candidates that did opt to come to America Period and discuss their point of view directly, we're obviously going to feature those interviews. At the same time, we're going to cover the responses that other candidates made during a recent forum here in Washington County, Pennsylvania. In total, the party had 12 questions. Now, the first 5 were directly devoted towards the county controller race. And these first 5 questions were executive committee picked questions. The last 7 were from the audience. And that's where every candidate, whether they were running opposed or unopposed in the primary, that's where every candidate had an opportunity to respond. Now, we reached out to Carrie Perrell. She's running for Recorder of Deeds, actually re-election, and she's also one of the owners of Park Place Realty Group. So, being a realtor and kind of controlling deeds, there's a few questions there, and that's okay. She declined to come on to America Period, and we respect that 100%. I did find a lot of her answers to be genuine. She was witty at times, so you get to decide.
My name is Carrie Perrell. I am running for re-election to the Recorder of Deeds office. Thank you to the leadership of the WCRP for hosting this event and to the voters for being here tonight to get to know the candidates. Though I am running unopposed, I do not take your vote for granted. I want to earn your support. So let me share with you a few of the improvements made to the Recorder of Deeds office in my first term. Before I list them, I want to thank my wonderful staff for their support in making changes, and I also want to thank the IT department personnel at the county, Landex, and Community Bank for their help. I instituted direct deposit of local realty transfer taxes for our school districts and municipalities, saving money on postage, paper, and ink, and resulting in improved bookkeeping. I had new computers installed for the public's use and for the office staff so that we can offer efficient and dependable service. We completed a historical pilot indexing project with the goal toward getting all deeds indexed, starting with the founding of our county in 1781. And I contracted with Landex to have an off-site backup server to increase protection of the Recorder of Deeds data. This is updated nightly and can be brought on site in the event of a cyber attack. While making these improvements, I have been mindful of being a good steward of the people's money. I restructured the bank accounts, keeping funds in interest-bearing accounts until they are ready to be dispersed. This practice, along with increased interest rates, has resulted in earned interest of $30,000 to $40,000 per year. I noted in the past the recorders averaged $400 to $500 per year in interest. As well as the improvements have not been paid for by tax dollars, but rather by commissions earned per state law on every deed recorded. Also, I have cut portions of my budget. On a personal note, I have had a variety of careers in my life. I was once a court reporter, then a stay-at-home mom, a cleaning business owner, a registered nurse, and a realtor. I am married to Eric Perrell, a realtor at Park Place Realty. He is an ordained Presbyterian minister who serves with the Washington Presbytery. We have 4 grown children. We enjoy spending time with them and their spouses, and one of our favorite things to do is escape rooms, although I give them the credit for solving the puzzles. We are an animal-loving family. We all have rescues, and cats and dogs, and we are expecting our first human grandbaby next month, and we are very excited about that. Yes. I am honored to serve as an elected official. I would be grateful for your support in the primary and in the fall election. Feel free to call or stop by my office anytime if you have any questions. Thank you.
The first question asked to all of the candidates, how will you ensure that your office operates independently and is not influenced by political relationships or personal connections?
I don't have any connections. I came out of left field. They're like, how did she get into office? My office, I've been a Republican for more than 40 years, so I am a strong Republican. I have never asked my staff what their party is. I don't ask the public when they come in. I just try to do the job of the Recorder of Deeds to the best of my abilities.
The next question from the audience, so all the candidates, how would you handle discovering financial irregularities and or misuse of taxpayer funds?
When I took office, there were no registers for the various accounts that I oversee. So all of my 4 accounts now have registers. I consulted with an accountant to make sure everything was done properly. I have not discovered any irregularities, but I thought maybe sloppy accounting practices, and I've worked hard to correct those in our office. And we have a series of checks and balances even between my staff, where everything I do is checked, everything my staff does is checked, and I also balance the accounts to the penny every single day.
The audience then wanted to know what specific qualifications or experience makes you the most prepared to serve as Washington County Controller. Again, some of these questions were more geared towards the controller race because you have 4 people running. The sheriff's race, and again, the Recorder of Deeds, those are running unopposed for now, but everyone was involved, and it was all inclusive for every candidate to answer.
I know you all just want to hear from them, but I listed what I've done in the first term. If I wasn't confident that there was more that I can do for the office, I wouldn't be running again. And I think with my great staff that I have, we are a good team, we're working well together, and that's why I want to run another time for this position. Thank you.
Then came up, what is your approach to implement fiscal policy set by the commissioners, which is legal, but which you might not necessarily and personally agree with?
I'm trying to apply that to my office. Sorry. To add to what Heather said, when we have questions, and we do all the time, we write them down in a book, and we can contact, of course, our solicitor, but we use the opportunity when we go to our conferences to speak to the solicitors for the Recorder of Deeds Association, and I take it very seriously, and I gather questions from my staff, and when we go there, it's an opportunity to speak with other Recorders of Deeds and with their attorneys so that we make sure that we are doing things according to law.
Another interesting question from the audience. Have you accepted any donations to your campaign from any registered Democrats? And if so, how much?
I'm running on 0 this time. I haven't spent anything, so no, I've had no donations.
And obviously, following up with that question, what safeguards would you put into place to prevent conflict of interest that won't use taxpayer funds?
Nobody interferes with my office, so I can't imagine a scenario where this would be an issue. I can't adjust this to my office.
And lastly, one of the most interesting ones that the audience asked, which is going to be an issue coming up to May 20th, the primary election. How long have you been a registered Republican?
Over 40 years. It's the only party I've ever belonged to, and it was when I first went with my dad to go register to vote. He said, it's time. I've been a Republican ever since.
Now, in reviewing the voter rolls, we can confirm that Carrie Perrell has been relatively a lifelong Republican. Please continue to like, follow, share, and subscribe to America Period, as we're going to cover every candidate. We just wanted to start with the 2 that are running unopposed, Tony Andronis for Washington County Sheriff, and Carrie Perrell running for Recorder of Deeds. You get to decide.